Good morning, everyone. Before discussing binary number system and logic gates, let's have first a short review with regards to the different components in electronics. So, one of this is the diode. So, diode that controls the flow of the current. We also have the capacitor, so that stores energy. And then another component is the transformer. It converts energy. Of course, we also mentioned in your previous module the microprocessor. That is for data processing, used for data processing. Then the oscillator helps to produce alternating current. We also have the direct current, alternating, but for the oscillator, it really helps to produce alternating current. Then, of course, the resistor, it reduces the voltage, and of course, once it limits the voltage, the power, it limits now the flow of the current. And then the transistor, that amplify the current. Okay, so let's now have the binary number system. So maybe you keep now on asking yourselves or wondering, what is this binary? Well, when we speak of binary, that is ones and zeros. The only language that the computer understand. So let's start with binary number system. Um, but let's have first the decimal system. So the decimal system is called a base 10. Why base 10? Because it contains 10 digits. And what are these 10 digits? That is 0 to 9. Okay? So you count 0 to 9, it's 10. So decimal, it's base 10. The binary number system is a base 2, like what I've mentioned a while ago, because it only works with ones and zeros, 2 digits, 0 and 1. So in binary number system, we have here the power of 2 because of this 1 and 0. So 2, let's start with 2 raised to 0, 2 to the first, 2 to the second, 2 to the third, 2 to the fourth power, 2 to the fifth power. So counting in binary starts with the numbers 0 and 1. When each digit has been used in the first place, another digit is added in the second place, and the count continues with 10 and 11. So this uses up all combinations of 2 digits. So third digit is added in the fourth place, and the course continues with 100, with 100, 101, 110, and 111. So like for example, 2 raised to any number raised to 0 is 1. 2 to the first power is 2. So 2 to the second power, that will become, of course, 4. 2 squared is 4, and so on. Okay, so here you will observe that since this is in binary numbers, I mean, so you will see that it's alternate. The first place value is alternate. Okay, it's alternate. 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so do I have here? Okay, let's have this laser, this one. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So it's alternate. Okay? Because 2 raised to the zero power is 1. So it's alternate 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. For the second place value, it's since 2 raised to the first power is 2, so 2 zeros, 2 ones, 2 zeros, and so on. Here, 2 to the second power, 2 squared, so it's 4. So you will see here that the third place value alternate of 4 zeros, 4 ones. Okay, 4 zeros again, 4 ones. So here, in the fourth place, so since 2 to the fourth power is 8, so you will see that it's an alternate of 4 zeros, 8 zeros and 8 ones. So, for example, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, now let me show you how binary number will be now converted to decimal number. So how are we going to do this? Again, converting binary number to decimal number. So you need to know the place value depending on the number of the binary numbers. For example, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 binary numbers. So therefore, from here, let's start with 2 raised to 0. Okay? So it's 1. 2 raised to the first, so it's 2. 2 raised to the second, that's 4. 2 raised to the fourth is 8. Okay, so this one, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 2 raised to the third power is 8, and 2 raised to the fourth power is 16. 2 raised to the sixth power is 32. Then, the next thing that we will be doing now is to multiply the binary number to its place value. This one. Like for example, this one. This one, 1. So this is the binary number. So 1 times 32, it's equals to 32. This one, 0 times 16 equals 0. 1 times 8 is 8. This one, 1 times 4 is 4. Then this one, 0 times 2 is equals 0. Then the last is 1 times 1 is equals to 1. Then, let's add the product of all this. Let's add the product. And that is now the conversion of the decimal. So you see, how will you know that this is now the conversion? You see, again, after multiplying, now you get the total of all this product, you add. So 32 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1, that's 45. Which means that the equivalent of the binary 101101 is 45 in decimal. So you will see here, there is this base 2 that corresponds to the binary number. Here you will see base 10 because that corresponds now that this is the decimal number. Okay? Now, how about if the binary number have this decimal, this one, there is this decimal. So, if the decimal number, again, have a decimal point, then you will just be applying fraction. Like, how many decimal points? For example, in this example, there are 3. From here, 0, that's 1, another 1, another 1. So, there are 3 decimal points here. after the decimal point, there are 3 numbers. So if there are 3, then you apply fraction. Like, let's start with the 0. The 0, it will be 1 divided by 2 raised to 1, not 0. It will not be 0. You start with 1. And then second, 1 divided by 2 raised to the second power. And then the third is 1 divided by 2 raised to the third power. And then you add now the decimal points. It will be added. Okay, so let's see. So here, for example, here, 0. So you try to divide 1 divided by 2 raised to the first power. So it's 2. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5, right? Okay. Next, 1. Okay, so next, 1 divided by 2 to the second power. So 1 divided by 4, it's 0.25. Next, 1 divided by 2 to the third power. So 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8. So 1 divided by 8, it's 0.125. So do the same. 0. So 0 times 0.5 is 0, of course. Then 1 times 0.25, it's 0.25. And same with the last. Okay, so again, you add starting from the decimal point, this 0 plus 0.25 plus 0.125, it's 375. Okay, for this part, let us now convert decimal to binary number. A while ago, what we did is converting binary to decimal. This time, it's the opposite. Let us convert decimal to binary number. So how are we going to do that? Just divide the decimal number to 2 because again, it's binary 2. So if the given is 11, that's the decimal. So 11 divided by 2 is equals to 5 with a remainder of 1. So let's use this 5. 5 divided by 2 is equals to 2 with the remainder of 1. Okay, so let's use this 2. 2 divided by 2 is equals 1 with the remainder of 0. So let's use the 1. 1 divided by 2, it's 0 with a remainder of 1. So we stop. Okay. So this arrow is showing us how are we going now to write or to put the equivalent of the decimal of how are we going now to write the conversion of decimal to binary number, this arrow. So that arrow. So let's see. So therefore, for example here, so the equivalent of this 25 is 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So again, how did we get this 1, 1, 0, 0, 1? So again, how? Divide the decimal by 2, then copy the remainders starting below here, going up. Okay, going up. So again, like for example, 25 divided by 2, it's 12 with a remainder of 1. Then 12 divided by 2, it's 6 with a remainder of 0. Then 6 divided by 2, it's 3 with the remainder of 0. But this time, 3 divided by 2, it's 1 with a remainder of 1. 1, this one, 1 divided by 2, it's of course 0 with a remainder of 1. So how are we going to get the conversion of decimal to binary after dividing? Get the remainders, and then you start from the below going up. So 1, so the equivalent of 25 is 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay. So here, how are we going to convert now decimal 0.85 to a binary fraction? So this time, instead of multiplication, instead of division, the decimal to binary, we multiply. Okay. Now, before doing this, let me ask you again, how did we convert the decimal in binary to binary to decimal? How did we do it a while ago? We start from first power. Okay, so 1 divided by 2 to the first power, right? Then, depending on how many digits are there. But this time, it's the opposite. You are going to convert the decimal, okay, decimal to binary fraction. This time, it will be done to multiplication. Because again, this one is decimal to binary. So here, like, the decimal is 0.85. So times 2 is 1.70. So you get the 1. So that's 1. So that's 0.70. Then 0.70 times 2, it's 1.40. You get the 1. So it becomes 0.40. 0.40 times 2, it's 0.80. So that's 0. You get the 0. 0.80 times 2, so it's 1.60. So you get the 1. And then 2, it's 0.60 times 2. Okay, and so on. Okay. And until here, that there's no need now for us to repeat. So continue to multiply by 2 until the needed accuracy is reached. So therefore, decimal 0.85 is equal to 0. So a while ago, how did we get the decimal? It's from below. In fraction, how are we going to get the binary? It's from the top here. So 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay, so this one is an example of how to convert decimal to binary. So you start with the whole number, 20. So again, how do you do it? To binary, divide. 20 divided by 2, and then you get the remainder. And then how do you read? It's from below. So 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. And then after, you get the decimal. For example, here it's 0.65. And then you just multiply it to 2 and you get the remainder and so on. So how do you get the binary, it's from top to down. So that's why 0.65 is 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, etc. Okay, so we're done with the binary numbers. So let's have the octal numbers. So octal number, if binary is 2, octal is 8. So the base is 8. So therefore, it's not 2 raised to the 0, but it's 8 raised to the 0. And then you break the binary number into groups of 3. So for example, this one. So you group the number into groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, for example here. Okay, separate into groups of 3. And then that's the time now that you're going to convert this to octal. So same process as how we did it in binary to decimal. But this time it's group of 3. Group of 3. And then so you will see here. So it's not 2 raised to the 0, just like what you do not start with 2 to the 0, 2 to the first, but instead of 2, you use 8. 8 to the 0, 8 to the first power, second power, okay. So you will see here, it's group of octal number. So you will see here 7, and then the 8 here is the octal number is 10. 9, it's 11. Okay, 15 is 17. So 16, it's 20. Okay, so octal 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, so again, how are we going to convert octal number to a binary equivalent? Again, you group it by 3. Okay, so if this is the octal number, you separate the numbers. And then what's the equivalent of 4? It's this. What's the equivalent of 5? It's this. What's the equivalent of 2? 2, 7, 6, etc. So the binary equivalent is this one. Okay? So this is the binary equivalent. And the lead zeros can be dropped in. So the lead zeros. So this one, 0, 0. So it can now be dropped, the lead zeros. Okay, so this is what I'm telling you a while ago. So since it is octal, so you will start with 8. 8 powers of 8. So 8 to the 0, 8 to the first, 8 to the second, 8 to the third, and so on. So for example, the octal number, how are we going to convert a decimal number to an octal equivalent? How are we going to do it? Convert decimal number to octal equivalent. So if this is the octal number, so therefore 2 that's raised to the 0, 1, so it's 1, raised to the 8 to the first power, so it's 8, to the second power, so that's why it's 64, and then to the third power, so it's 512. Okay, so you add the total, okay, so that becomes this one. Again, if it's base 10, meaning to say that's the decimal number. This decimal number. Base 8, that's the octal number. So here, if the decimal number is 2382, so same with how we did it in binary, decimal to binary. So same here, decimal to octal. So we just have, instead of dividing it to 2, we divided to 8. Okay. Then how are we going to record? How are we going to record? Start from below to top. So this time it's hexadecimal number. Used primarily for entering and reading data of microprocessor based for 8, 16, 32, and 64-bit system. Okay. So using hexadecimal numbers allows breaking of a binary number into groups of 4 to reduce change of error. So 16 digits, because it's hexa, 16 digits. So here, 5, then 7, 8, 9, then A, B, C, D, and F. So in hexadecimal, the base is 16. In binary, the base is 2. In decimal, the base is 10. And then for the hexa, in octal, it's 8. In hexadecimal, it's 16. So let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10. Na A is 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 16 until, because we did not include 0. So actually it's 16 up to F. Okay, so for example, this is the binary number, and then let us convert this to hexadecimal. The first thing that you will do is to separate this into 4 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, so until you're done, then that's the time now that you're going to convert it to hexadecimal. So for example, this one 10, 10, because the equivalent of this in decimal is 10. So 10 in hexadecimal it's 8. Then this one, the equivalent of this one is 3. Then this one, 1100, it's 12. But if you will check the equivalent of this 1100 is 12 in decimal. But if you're going to check the table for the hexadecimal, it's C. Okay, and so on. Okay, so therefore, the hexadecimal equivalent is 129C3A. Okay, how about if we are going to convert this octal number to binary? So the first thing that you're going to do is to convert this, just convert each one to binary. For example, C. C is, the equivalent of C is 12. So what is the equivalent of 12? It's 1100. Okay, so you just have to get the equivalent of this in binary. And of course, just like what was mentioned a while ago, the lead zeros will be dropped. So see the table for the powers of 16. That's hexadecimal. So a while ago, it's the power of 8. So this time, since it is hexadecimal, so you start with 16. Okay, so this one is showing us how hexadecimal number is converted to decimal. Okay, so here, so for example here, 9. For this one, it's 16 raised to the 0. Second, 16 raised to the first power, 16 raised to the first power until third power. So you just multiply to the place value. So 9 times 1, it's 9. So the equivalent of C is 12 in decimal, so times 16. Why 16 again? Because 16 to the first power is 16. So it's 192. The equivalent of A is 10 in decimal. So times Y 256, because again 16 to the second power. Okay. Then here 4 times Y, it's 44,906, because 16 to the third power. And then add the products. So that's why we have 19,945. Now, again, same process. If we want to convert decimal to hexadecimal, we just have to multiply. For example, the number is, the decimal number is 1,929 divided by 16, then you get the remainder. Okay, so same process. So the BCD code, it's just a group of 4. Okay, group of 4 binary. Okay, for example, 0, 4, 8, 4, 2, 1 code, it's 0, 1. So there are just 4. Okay. You just have to replace each decimal digit with the appropriate 4-bit code. Okay, for example, you convert decimal to BCD code 5, 4-digit, 1, and what's the equivalent of 1? This one. What's the equivalent of 3? It's this one. Okay, so groups of 4. For example, 124, you just literally give the value of 1, value of 2, the value of 4. So it's just group of 4. How are you going to, how about BCD code to decimal? So you just have to do it by 4 groups again. What's the value of 1001? First, it's 9. What's the value of 01001? It's 5. So here, what's the value of 0100? It's 4. 1000, it's 8. So that is just how you do the BCD code. Okay, so let's have the logic gates. Okay, so this is the logic gates. What's the use of this? That's how we process things in a microprocessor. Like what gate are we going to use for this particular thing? Is it AND or not? Okay, or is it NAND? The combination NAND, NOR. So for the AND gate, this is AND gate. If there is a 0 input, then output is equal to 0. Again, for the AND, it's like multiplication, that if there is a 0 input, then the output will become automatically 0. For the OR gate, if there is 1 input, then output is 1. So it's like you're using addition. So for example, there is 1 input, then automatically the output is 1. Okay, so here you'll see this. For the NOT gate, it's the opposite. If 1 is the input, then the output is 0. If the input is 0, then the output is 1. Okay, so here in NAND gate, that's the combination of NOT and AND. So what you will be doing first here is the AND. So 0 times 0, it's 0. So then apply NOT, so it becomes 1. 1 times 0 is 0. Then apply NOT, then it becomes 1. So same here. Here, 1 times 1, 1. Apply NOT, then it becomes 0. So for the NOR gate, it's the combination of NOT and OR. So what we're going to do here is to perform same with how we did it in NAND. So you apply OR. So in applying OR, it's like you're doing an addition, right? So 0 plus 0, 0. Then apply NOT, so it becomes 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, then you apply NOT, then it becomes 0. So same with the rest. Apply OR before NOT. Now we also have this exclusive OR. So for the exclusive OR, that is exclusive OR and NOR. So the combination of OR and NOR. So if the input is both 0, then the output is 0. If the input is the same 1, then the output is 0. So meaning, if the input is the same, then the output is 0. If the input is different, 0 and 1 or 1 and 0, then the output is 1. That is how exclusive OR works. It is opposite to the exclusive NOR. Exclusive NOR, same input, for example, same input, it's equivalent, it's opposite to the exclusive OR, because in exclusive NOR, same input equals 1. 0, 0, it's 1. In exclusive OR, 0, 0, it's 0. 1, 1 is 0. But in exclusive NOR, 0, 0 is 1, 1, 1 input is 1. And then, if the inputs is not the same, then the output will become 0. So in the buffer, if you will see the table, it's what is the input that will become the output.